reverend and my energy paralyzed. I'm like I'm finger 11. Take a second, I'm finna send it like I'm bearing a mess to the best. If it ain't me, then you need you a confession. You a mess.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Dublin Antlers. 2-1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. This will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. He finds Corey Davis. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. He's got a man, Corey Davis. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37.
At the 37-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Watson. Escaping the pressure right. They'll run it. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
This one caught right on the 6. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Corey Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Antlers 7, Vikings 0. Dustin Hopkins set to
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
run it. This is James Robinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for, and that'll bring up second down.
Football back. Intercepted. They'll take over 1st and 10.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. Now a first down throw, Watson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
10 at the 45-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 2nd and a yard, Watson. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. And to give this time to the tailback. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Taken down at the 19-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Your Antlers 7, Vikings nothing.
Second and 8 coming from the 19. A shotgun snap for Watson. Finding Knox there, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Watson. Eluding, and he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
So I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
On the draw, Robinson, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and they think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 36 yards on the play.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
28, the ball carrier.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, here's Watson. Slings this deep from McLaurin. It's caught. Touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and it's now 21-0.
Hopkins set to kick off. Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd down now, it's Robinson. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run the counter. Robinson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. And this is incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Watson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
This time they stay on the ground. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Man, Robbie Anderson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And the Vikings first down.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Taken in the end zone. And the half will begin with a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. And right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
First down, Minnesota.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains. That was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
a sack back at the 7. Patrick Queen gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Read it well, and it's picked. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Now a handoff looking right. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. He'll get this one complete to Davis. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, Watson. And he finds McLaurin. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
The 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. Man, and he hits him in stride. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Operating from the gun, Watson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play, and it will result in a fresh set of downs. Welcome back now to the Emerald Isle. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Touchdown. Terry McLaurin. He scored on the ground and through the air. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
At the 33-yard line.
Taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 3rd time today. Picked off near the 42. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Now let's listen in on the call. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well send a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On third down, it's Robinson, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. On first down, Robinson. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 47-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Robinson.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the side. Sideline and talk over what to do next.
Minnesota.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Mason Crosby.
Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback, but, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead, but at the same time, got it done. It'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This taken in about 4 yards deep.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And they will take a knee here. take a knee. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the home team here, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And now they'll face the prospect of a long, albeit happy flight across the Atlantic. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host.
Kick it and go. Kick it and go. With a step on, spin move, in zone, go. Sideline, a touchdown, I put on a show. Kick it and go. I had to kick off and go. Kick it and go. I had to kick off and go. With a step on, spin move, in zone, go. Sideline, a touchdown, I had to kick off and go. Kick it and go. I had to kick off and go.
Running it back, never a cap, out of the drought, watching me ball, soon as I snap, hit of the pack, walk for the sack, shaking them out, breaking them off, talking my talk, walking my wall like I do, sit on the throne, get in the zone, turn it on, must be the shoes, must be the team, must be the camp, must be the crew, you need a win, who need a win, that's all we do, I've been a king and I've been about mine, never could doubt mine, they running the route, I leave them outline when I hit them.